Assalamualaikum and hello. Today I'm going to present about the impact of coronavirus COVID-19 on e-business in Malaysia, a review. My name is Noor Faziedah Chun. I'm one of the author and a presenter for today's conference, the first international conference on entrepreneurship and small business ICES 2020. So the other author for this paper are Dr. Chong Jaki, Professor Datuk Dr. Kasim Mansur and Madam Roslina Mahmud. The introductions, the outbreak of COVID-19 labeled as a black swan event and likened to the economic scene of World War II. Governments around the world have closed borders and businesses to combat the spread of COVID-19. Governments have enforced border shutdowns, travel restriction, and quarantine in countries as a response to flatten the curve. On 25th January 2020, Malaysia announced its first confirmed cases of COVID-19. The MCO, Movement Control Order, being imposed on 18 March because of a significant jump case in Malaysia. So Malaysia has passed the Enhanced MCO Movement Control Order, the CMCO Conditional Movement Control Order, RMCO Recovery Movement Control Order, and now the CMCO has been extended to December measures by state and territories. So the coronavirus COVID-19 has a wide-reaching effect on e-commerce, technology, business travel, and the economy. The regulations also led most retailers to temporarily shut down their stores. Due to the outbreak, the medium and small-sized retailers are combating with the situation and online businesses are also included in the list. Basically, MCO results in most of the businesses operators went under or ordered to temporarily shut down their activities to contain the spread of this virus. So this pandemic has shaken up all types of business, including the e-business on a massive scale. So this paper review how has the coronavirus COVID-19 impacted Malaysia's e-business industry. So almost every aspect of people's lives in Malaysia impacted by the outbreak of COVID-19. Malaysians have been adapting to the outbreak and the regulations of needing to stay home. So also social distancing, self-isolations, and travel restriction have led to reduced workforce across all economic sectors and caused many jobs to be lost in this pandemic situation. Impacts of supply side and demand side. The pandemic of COVID-19 has caused massive disruptions to both the supply side and demand side of Malaysia's online businesses. So this action caused factories to delay productions and as a result, the raw materials and components to produce goods would reduce during this period. For example, there have been disruptions since early first quarter when China's extensions of Chinese New Year in February caused delays to online orders that were placed in January. So many international online sellers with supply chains from China affected revenue and cash flows because of the delays and having inventory shortage. Therefore, the travel restrictions imposed by many countries in March also caused a massive drop in air freight supply as airlines began suspending flights. It has also cut off the supply chain of the business. So the online business seller facing tremendous issues while sourcing their products from China and finding it difficult to sell their products online. So any disruptions will simply affect other country business since China mainly deals with the equipment, instruments, and communication related equipment and machinery. Since the Malaysian market has relied upon the China product and it will extremely impact the economy of Malaysia. Many online businesses are facing shortage of the products which are unable to satisfy the demand of the customers and this situation may also raise the price of the products in the future after everything gets well. So for the manufacturing, globally, about 20% of the manufacturing products are produced in China. Major chemical manufacturing companies such as BASF, who were in the process of upscaling production in China, have had to delay their activities contributing to a slowdown in predicted growth. So Malaysia was hit by first a shortage of required materials and have less demand for their goods in China due to these regulations. So during the MCO in Malaysia, manufacturers of non-essential goods are not allowed to operate. The Malaysian Ministry of International Trade in Industry (MITI) required applications from manufacturers of essentials goods to operate during MCO. So after gaining approval, permitted conditions need to be followed while carried out their operation. So in addition, for many roles within a manufacturing company, working from home is not viable option. Okay, we move to logistics. According to Professor Lawrence Law from the National University of Singapore, in a new Straits Times article, delays could be due to a shortage of workers at manufacturing companies, warehouses, and transport companies due to the outbreaks. So, particularly in the first quarter of this year, the disruption in China also had an impact on e-business experience in Malaysia. Also, the New Straits Times also interviewed e-business customers and found that many of them were not receiving proper explanations why their deliveries were getting delays and in some cases had cancelled their orders for deliveries that had taken too long. So, the restriction led to a huge drop in demand for international flights with so many flight cancellations. As a result, many airlines responded to these reductions by suspending flights and to manage costs, and at the same time for the customer expectation, they also changed their network by adjusting the low load flights by cancelling and merging them. Okay, so in the 18th March 2020, the first day of MCO in Malaysia, Malaysia Airlines were had suspending their 4,000 flights. um, the supply of international flights had dropped because many other airlines also taking similar measures of suspending their flights. So this led to many looking to alternative modes of transportation during these uncertain times, such as sea freight and cross-border trucking. So in simple maths, delays could double delivery time. So some routes have been closed and logistics service providers currently need to implement extra precautions to ensure the safety of customers and their staff. So with the MCO in place in Malaysia, last mile delivery has also been impacted. Some of these procedures include like split work arrangements or operating only on certain days in a week and carrying out routine disinfections. Okay, demand changes to people's lifestyles. Malaysians have shown more willingness to purchase items online now because of having been spending more time online during this stay-at-home order. Spending habits also changed after the MCO was implemented. So this pandemic COVID-19 situation leads to the changes in the behavior of Malaysians, such as needing to work from home or exploring new hobbies while staying at home. So from discovering new hobbies, finding their work from home groups to ordering more groceries and food deliveries online. So it also presents new opportunity for e-business when people have more time online and stay at home. According to Payments 2020, the increase in demand and traffic could be analyzed by a researcher from the initial period of March. So a significant rise in the number of active and new customers, and he stated that the rate of increasing traffic has been increased with the passage of every day from March 2020. So when the MCO was imposed, many in Malaysia began adapting by working and studying from home. This is the Genius Inhouse Surveys, which is shows that how have Malaysians' buying behavior changed during COVID-19. So in light of the MCO, Malaysians have been spending less. It is according to a survey by the Department of Statistics Malaysia found that the average monthly household expenditure has fallen 55% from the MYR 6,000 plus to only MYR 2,000 plus near to 3,000. So This survey shows that 69% of Malaysians are buying only essential products. So the respondents says that they only spending on essential food and household items such as the groceries, snack, personal hygiene item, and preventive care items. Meanwhile, the 27% Malaysian are still buying other product categories such as the home cleaning products, skincare, and health supplements. Uh, they also mentions that currently ongoing promotions and sales provided them with great savings, so they didn't want to miss it. So it is also driven by the ongoing promotions and sales. So the respondents to the genius surveys in-house will also focus more on purchasing items like packaged food and household items while cutting back on non-essential items like fashion. So these surveys also shows that Malaysians are making shift to online shopping. It is because in response to the questions that have you been purchasing more frequently online, and then 60% of the respondents mentions that they have been making more purchases online compared to the pre-COVID level. So another notable activities is DIY items, DIY home repair. As we know that Mr. DIY, a popular store that sells primarily DIY hardware as well as like other home and living products such as the gardening tools and etc. The Mr. DIY previously not opened during the MCO, but on the 31st March, Malaysians pointed out that the importance of having access to the DIY hardware to fix any emergency issues their homes could face, such as the broken parts or the lighting issue and etc. So because they cannot call someone to come to repair their emergency issue in their home, so the government eventually allowed that these stores to be open on Mondays and Thursday each week. So with this trend that Malaysians still needing the DIY items during and after the MCO, so this could be a potential opportunity for e-commerce merchants to tap into in Malaysia. Okay, so we move to the changes to consumption habits and consumer sentiment. So most Malaysians have cut back on spending in generals and may likely only gradually go back to their initial spending levels after the MCO ends, predict by the Department of Statistics Malaysia. Because we know that Malaysians are likely to continue saving until they feel more secure about their job security and income. So until they feel less anxious about the future, expenditure on big tickets items such as the renovations or housing or vehicle is not likely to be impacted. So travel related purchases are also likely to remain low. So according to research by Picodi 2020 found that searches for the foreign language courses also dropped by 39% during this time, which they attribute to the loss of international travel interest. And then from Janice in-house surveys that two-thirds of the respondents expect e-business players to be more communicative. Some of the reasons they provided for this expectation include like believing that the MCO is great opportunity for e-business merchants to gain a loyal customer from the larger market of Malaysian going online during this period. It is created, so the broadband usage report by the MCMC Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commissions pointed out that the MCO period sees a greater number of people spending more time online. So the restrictions put non-essential stores like consumer electronics, fashion, accessories, and home and living becoming harder to access during the MCO. So this presents a great opportunity for merchants to focus on online channels for sales and marketing and also to engage audience through various platforms. So we are social reports also shows that 85.5% of Malaysians only access Facebook via mobiles. So you will want your advertisement or your content to be optimized for mobile experiences. This is where we can see the opportunities created for online advertising is the way to go. Okay, so for the conclusions, e-business merchants can make use of these situations of coronavirus with looking at the good side of lifestyle changes prior to staying at home because of the outbreak. So even though the recent restrictions have put an initial discouragement on spending, online merchants can still take several steps to thrive during these uncertain times. Online businesses can adapt their communications and engage with their potential buyers to fully utilize the technology. The online seller can make use of Malaysians' increased time spent online by focusing on the channels where their customers are at social media. So they need to provide frequent and timely updates about their products, and e-commerce merchants need to be more communicative during the outbreak. Okay, so thanks for your attention. That's all from me. Thank you.